Neverending Chain by Dragon Translator. Chapter 93. The Lost Prince. Just as Toothless and Stormfly finished, but before any of the dragons could comment, Hiccup heard a wings flap. He glanced up as a shadow fell from overhead. "Hello, young Alpha," the mother flightmare said as she and her daughter switched to a hover. Hiccup smiled. The flightmare's wing had responded well to Gothi's treatments, and the left now rose as high as the right, and did not seem to offer the female much pain. Her leg, though, was still twisted upon itself, even with the device he had built for the young Nada Dervla was caring for, unable to fix the problem. Gothi had written that too much time had passed between the flightmare's injury, and she was too old to respond to the same treatment as the Nada youngling. "Hey," Hiccup called. "Welcome back. Gothi should be in her hut, but the village is decorating for an upcoming festival. If she's not there, any but those three we showed you can both help you find her for you." "Thank you, Alpha of the Nest. When the human elder finishes, may my daughter and I speak with you?" "Of course. If I'm not still here, I'll be in the village helping decorate." "Thank you, young Alpha." The two flightmares continued on towards the village. Hiccup noted the new dragons all watched both until they both disappeared around the mountain and the great hall sat in. The elders of the flocks looked back to Hiccup, while the dragons in their flocks settled in various places they landed in. "The Glow-Eater was injured," the Gronkle from the first flock began. "Is she okay?" Hiccup frowned, not quite sure he had the authority to give the flightmare's tale. "She's doing better," he finally began. "The human elder is tending her wounds." "I noted she never called you her Alpha," the Nada from the second flock began. "But you asked one of your elders to aid her. I find myself confused. I have known nest alphas that allowed visiting dragons to rest within the boundaries of their territory, so long as the visitors promised to obey the civility laws, and the nest's own customs. I have never known a nest alpha to lend aid of an elder to an injured visitor, though." Hiccup tilted his head. "Nest alphas where you're from don't do that?" "None that I know of. Most nest alphas are too busy tending to their own nestmates, as the humans back home hunt us greatly." Hiccup frowned and sighed. "Oh, I'm sorry those humans are doing that." "You would apologize for what you have no control over?" the Nada asked. "Those humans are not from this nest, so they don't bow to your rule." "I apologize that you have had to deal with such things," Hiccup said. "I wish all humans and dragons could live in peace." The human from the first flock chittered. "The Alpha protects them all." Hiccup blinked and turned to the Gronkle. "That line was in Toothless's poem," he said. He looked down at his brother. "Lawkeeper knew it too. Sneaky knew it. Just how many dragons know that line?" "Every honourable dragon nest that still teaches the common tongue," Toothless replied. "I see from the illusion scale's elder's reaction that it has become part of the all tale." "You said this line was in Toothless's poem?" the Gronkle asked. "Forgive me, Windshaker, but how did you know of that poem? The elders of my nest say the only nest with Windshakers know the full poem, while the all tale deals with just the last line." "My hatch nest," Toothless said. "It holds the poem in its entirety, though my kind have lost the ability to remember the first part." The Gronkle gasped. "The Lost Prince!" he whispered. "Your father had searchers come to my nest and ask the Alpha if we had seen you." Toothless grunted. "My older blood brother visited here not long ago, and has left for my hatch nest. Mother and father will know where I am now." "I'm glad," the Gronkle said. "I have two offsprings who are now adults. If one went missing, I do not know how I would react." Before anyone else could reply, Sunset and Sunrise landed in front of Hiccup and Toothless. The twin terrors bowed to Hiccup. Sage moved from her spot next to Stormfly's front leg. Sunrise and Sunset chirped. Sage returned the chirp. Sunset sat up, and the now youngling terror stared at Hiccup. "Elder Rainfire says she is finished, Alpha." "Sunset, Elder Gita and Shadowfire have taught you how to speak properly." "I know, Elder," Sunset said. "I just like calling him Alpha." "So do I," Sunrise said, sitting up as well. It's the name we came up with when he let us live here. He said we could call him that. Hiccup dismounted. Toothless shifted enough that Hiccup could kneel in front of the terrace. He reached out and scratched sunrise and sunset's horns. The twins cooed and nuzzled into his hand. He looked to Sage. I don't mind, Alpha, he said, smiling. Sage blinked, then smiled and tipped her head. Of course you would, my Alpha. Hiccup chuckled and then looked back to the twin terrors. I am proud of you both, he said. Toothless told me that while it doesn't hurt to learn and speak the common tongue, it's not an altogether easy endeavour. Both terrors chittered in what sounded like a mix of awe and embarrassment. Hiccup smiled, scratching both again. They cooed again. He then looked to the other dragons. Let's get all of you settled then. You are all free to fish in the waters around the nest if you are hungry, and you are all free to join in the village. Just take care, as the humans and many of the dragons are decorating. There are 3 in the nest who do not know the common tongue, so if a human does not respond to any of you, it might be one of those 3. Thank you, Alpha of the Nest. The nightmare from the 3rd flock said, I am grateful that you killed that lava dweller and allowed us a chance to rest. Before my flock leaves, I would like to speak with you more, if I may. Sure, Hiccup said, standing and climbing into Toothless's saddle. Toothless and Stormfly flared their wings. They lifted into the air, and all the dragons followed. Toothless and Stormfly then flew towards the cliff face with all the dragons behind. Hiccup, Astrid said as they flew, I know everyone in the village wants you to help them. But when we get finished, you're helping Stormfly and I. Hiccup glanced at her as they passed the mountain. I am? On whose authority? Mine. Hiccup blinked as the Nada from the 2nd flock began to gaggle. Ho 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 ho! These 2 remind me of the alpha pair in my nest. I shall have to tell them about all of this when we return. Hiccup snickered as his brother began to dive. They met Ringfire just outside of a large opening in the cliff face. The twins and the Zibblebacks hovering over her, keeping the sun off of her. She tipped her head. It is ready, my Alpha, she said. Thank you, Hiccup said. Why don't you get them into the cave, since you did all the work? Go on and show off, Ringfire. The Whispering Death chuckled. As you wish, my Alpha. Please, follow me. She curled upon herself and headed in. Hiccup tapped Toothless's neck. He and the nest dragons lifted higher. He had turned to the 3 flocks. Go on and get some rest. End of chapter. Bye guys, hope you enjoyed this one. I like this one, but at the same time, not much to report. Anyway, you guys know the drill. Like, comment and subscribe and hit that bell to get notified for whenever I upload a new video. Have a good day, night, or whatever time zone you're in. Bye my guys, gals and non-binary pals. I'll see you in another video. Take care.